Welcome to this video. Thank you so much for tuning in and sharing this now moment with myself and with one another. If you haven't seen these videos before, welcome back if you have. My intention is, of course, oneness and unity and love and light, and I'm just kind of in this space today of feeling all the energies coming in, and I just jumped right into it, didn't I? Obviously, I'm driving. I get a lot of downloads and activations while I drive. For me personally, the message that's been coming through has been purge. Seriously, get her done. Like, if there's a bunch of stuff to purge, and physically, emotionally, mentally, now's the time to do it. And I'm starting to see a lot of people come forward. Like, I'm ready to embrace it. It's really exciting. I mean, for those of us that have been on the path for a while, we've already done a lot of work, and we might be the ones assisting others who want to come forward and begin the work. But we still might have some stuff to purge. We're human beings, and we all have things going on that sometimes build up if we're not aware of it. And then every once in a while we get messages like, all right, time to clean house. So it's kind of the biggest message that I've been getting today. And in addition to that, it's a little bit of a big purge is happening. So it's not just me personally, it's going on in the collective. A lot of things going on as far as synchronicities go. For me, it's become such a common thing to see and feel synchronicities. It's like every day. And I remember when I first started seeing all these synchronicities and sharing these messages, I would be like, what? Oh my gosh, I can't believe that just happened. In fact, the first time I had so many synchronicities happen in one day, I literally sat down and cried because I'd never experienced anything like it in this lifetime. Yet at the same time, I remembered that's how it's supposed to be all the time. So anyways, just wanted to share that's what I'm seeing. So much more. Body. A lot going on with the body. The message that I kept hearing is, do you guys remember that song? Let's get physical. I think it's Olivia Newton-John sings that song. That's the song that I've been hearing. So it's time to focus on the physical for a moment. Are we taking care of ourselves? Have we dropped the ball somewhere? Should we be drinking more water? And are we breathing? And the funny thing about all of this is that it doesn't mean, we might know better, that doesn't mean we do it all the time. And I'm just as guilty as anybody else. I tell people all the time to drink water, and yet I still have to constantly remind myself to drink water because it's something that I never got into the habit of doing. But as I recently wrote in my Instagram post that I forgot to post today, was our habits are changing. So they are just a pattern that we can easily change if we choose to. It may not seem like it's easy at the time, but it is actually easier than we think that it is, because we've been told how hard and how difficult it is. And maybe because in the past we have been tried to change habits and it hasn't been easy. So just because it hasn't been before, what my guidance team says is that doesn't mean it won't be difficult. It'll be as difficult now. We're in a different energy. We're in a different body than we were a year ago, 6 months ago, 2 years ago. And the question then becomes, when was the last time that I changed my last habit that needed to be changed? It might have been a while ago. So what are we comparing it to? It's apples and oranges, right? So that's the other message that's coming through. So I'm going to go into a little light language or a little flow. The way I anak uwa at just saw a burst of pictures, so I'm trying to break it down. What I was hearing is as our patterns increase, as our fractals increase, as our expansion increases, what are we continuing to expand into the fractal? So what are we the repeating patterns over and over and over again are expanding out into the universe. What are we creating? Is it worth expanding? Is it worth doing over and over and over again? So they're kind of showing me that what happens is we go through this big purge, and then oftentimes our physical bodies go through a big purge. So our physical bodies are going through another purge. Not all of us necessarily, but some of us. And this is a representation of as above, so below, as within, so without. So I did a video, I might have done it or posted it, doesn't matter. Either way, I'm seeing, the reminder is, what are we oscillating in and out of? Are we going back and forth between habit patterns? I wasn't very good, for example, over the holidays, and I think that's kind of built up in my system, and I just know that it's time to let it go. Sorry, guys. Not sorry. I keep seeing all of these, I keep seeing all of this stuff. I'm seeing a reference to red and blue DNA. I'm seeing a reference to blue and yellow. I'm seeing a reference to octopus and chairs. I'm seeing a reference to the pine. I'm seeing reference to the lumbar spine. I'm seeing a reference to pine, lumbar spine. Oh my goodness, so much. Also, dumping. I saw a reference to smooth move. So part of this purging assists us in getting into a smoother transition, right, as we go through these changes. So sometimes we are doing everything right, but we still have to do a change or a purge, because what was right for us a month ago isn't right for us now in this now moment. So so they're referencing this octopus, and I'm seeing a video I watched a few days ago, and they had all this thing on the octopus and the cuttlefish, and how those animals adapt to their environment. They don't fight it. They don't say, no, I'm not going to. They shift their body, they change their bodies, they adapt to their environment. And the other cool thing that I learned is that they help each other out. So oftentimes we think that the ocean life, this is kind of a sidebar, we think, because we've been taught to think that everything is survival of the fittest, and the ocean is nothing gets along, and things don't really work together, and that isn't true. And I think that what I'm seeing is that isn't true in general moving forward. We're going to start seeing a lot more animals working together. And again, it's as above, so below. This was a little bit of a sidebar tangent, but I just am seeing this, the word that comes through is commonality. So we start to find what we have in common with others, and once we figure that out, once we engage in that, it allows us to not only find common ground, but it allows us to work together. And this is, again, in nature as well as with ourselves. And I'm hearing in nature, in nurture. So there is this nurturing that has begun to unfold within our new dimensional exchange, is what they're saying. As I said, dimensional exchange, I was thinking 5D, and I look over and there's a person with a jacket, and I said blue and red earlier, and they're on a blue motorcycle. They've got a white jacket on, and on the sleeve of the jacket it says 05 in red. 5D, 0.5D, but something going on with this red and blue. Don't be afraid to unload what is weighing us down. Don't be afraid to let go of the weights that have held us down, for they are no longer applicable. They are no longer they're playing with this word. So it's like it was applicable before. It had applied to certain foundations before, but now that is not the case. And part of this is self-limitations, our own self-restrictions that we've placed on ourselves, and our own toxins, I guess, is part of it, but they're asking me to play with that word. And so I just parked so I could kind of finish this before I run inside to get some groceries to detox. Essentially what they're showing me is that it's toxin. Like it's not just toxin, but it's what are we telling our bodies? So we're purging. A lot of this is self-inflicted, right? Self-induced, to reduce our whatever it was we needed to fit into a box before, and that is gone. That this 5D energy, it's like, what are we our body talks. You know, let me hear your body talk. Back to that Olivia Newton-John, let's get physical. Oh my goodness, taking it back. Some of you are probably way too young to know what that video is. It's really funny, cheesy. Sorry, Olivia, but it is. I think she knows. Cheesy music video from like the 80s. I should put that on Facebook. Anyways, you guys, I'm going to go backwards in just a minute, but toxin. When we're talking, we're creating our own, we think we're sinning. You know, it's like this, that's what they're saying. It's like, it's this toxin. It's like, oh, I'm not worthy. Oh, I can't do this. That it takes too long to change that habit. I don't have time to do that in order to better my life. Whatever. What are we creating? What sin? And this is a play on words, that what we believe is a sin, are we creating in our bodies, in our environment, in our household, in our job, anything, right? So that was part of what they were kind of playing with there. I was laughing because today has just been, it's been a very emotional day. I think there's moon energies coming through. There's solar energies coming through. I keep getting this sense of literally, so several weeks ago, it was like I was being squeezed, right? The pressure was on. Today, it's like I'm being pulled. It's difficult to explain other than that. It's like before it was squeeze, like compression. Now it's like being pulled out of the tube. And all of this is back to this birthing energy. And this part of what I'm feeling is gratitude. Like I get so grateful when these things, emotions, opportunities for me to work with others. I worked with somebody today and was able to talk with them about how to meditate. These are some things you can use based on their own personal likes and dislikes. And I was so grateful that I literally, because the emotions are so strong today, as we were doing a little energy work together at the end, got teary-eyed. And that continued. It's still there. So it's like this purge doesn't always have to be bad. Tears are a beautiful gift. They allow us to not only cleanse and detoxify the emotions, but they can also be a beautiful expression. So that's something else to recognize, that sometimes these things come up and we go, uh-oh, oh no, I don't want to cry. Oh no, I don't want to feel. Oh no, I don't want to go through this again. Let go of the judgment. Let whatever's going to come up, come up. Let go of that. I thought this was over and I was never going to have to go through this again. Let it all go. Put aside all of the ideas and concepts that we've been telling ourselves, and recognize that nothing is, again, I'm seeing a triangle. I'm seeing 3. I'm seeing, hearing doublemint gum. Doyan ishtiak ukua wayana at ishtiamak uawehena. The word that's coming through is sustainability. So again, we might get these highs, we might get these lows, but it's about sustaining. And just the more we can kind of allow these things. I was really high the other day. I had a fascial stretch therapy session, and if you haven't had one of those, or myofascial release or cranial sacral, any of it, I highly recommend that you do it. But it definitely brought some things up that I didn't even realize were there, and I've been doing the work for years, and I don't see it as work anymore. I see it as more I don't even know what the right word is. I think it's all play. It's all play right now for me. And I'm so grateful that some of those things came up, because it was very interesting. And it's for me, it's like, okay, awesome. So we got that. That was another discovery. It's discovery time, discovery about ourselves, continuing to discover where we're headed and what it is that we want and what we don't want, and all of that. Now, we might already be there. What they're kind of showing me is just recognize that we're manifesting faster. So we're in this new energy. We're in this new, so if we're not cleaning our thoughts out, if we're not staying pure heart, pure thoughts, something will manifest for us very quickly to show us and to show up for us, to mirror back to us what it is that we are sending out, what signals we're sending out. So again, it's, let's not talk sin. Let's not be within toxicity. So they're showing me that it's like the city of toxins. Like, let's not be within that sin city, if that makes sense. That certainly isn't a movie I want to be in, that's for sure. And recognize that if we are, how can we let it flow? What do we need to do, say, feel, participate in, do for our bodies, whether it be massage or changing our diets or whatever, just now in this moment, and not resist it? Be that octopus, right? That slides into places and changes their colors according to whatever they need in that moment for their environment. And get creative, get inventive, to be creative, play with it. You know, maybe you haven't tried this food before, and it's something your body's saying, I need to change. Maybe you've never gotten a massage or had any type of fascial work done. Maybe you've never gone to a painting workshop. All of these things it's all about playing. And as we play and we do this, we also come together and connect with other star seeds. So for me, I had that a couple of sessions where, because I had those sessions, I was able to then bring forward some things for them, and they were able to bring forward some things for me as well. So it's all really, really good stuff. So I'm just going to end on that note. That was just a quick energy update, and a little longer than I thought, but I always think I'm at 15 minutes, and then I look up and it's like 20 minutes. In love and light, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Namaste.